Hello, fellow cinephiles. This is Dr. M. Shroom coming to you from Canada. Thank you for joining me for this first pilot episode of Dr. M. Shroom's movie reviews. Today, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to be reviewing The Usual Suspects. I absolutely love this movie. Basically, it's a movie where a man named Verbal Kint, played by Kevin Spacey, is trying to convince police and customs investigators about a mythical seeming crime lord named Kaiser Sose actually exists. He's never been seen, he's never been caught. And so a lot of people have he's just kind of gone into as more of a legend and a myth. But he is trying to convince them that he does, in fact, exist. This story it takes place in an LA interrogation room, but it's told mainly in flashbacks, which I love that kind of movie just because you have a narrator to kind of help you out. The story mainly starts in a lineup, is where like the movie begins, and it's basically uh, The Usual Suspects is basically you put five really suspicious characters in a room, and they look at each other and say, "Hey, I tell you what, let's start more crimes together." Here's a clip of that lineup, and I'll tell you a really like a trivia fact about this lineup after you see it.
All right, you all know the drill. When your number is called, step forward and repeat the phrase you've been given. Understand? Number one, step forward.
Hand me the keys, you fucking cocksucker.
Number two, step forward.
Give me the fucking keys, you fucking cocksucker motherfucker!
Knock it off, get back. Number three, step forward.
How many keys, you cocksucker?
In English, please.
Excuse me.
In English.
How many fucking keys, you cocksucker? What the fuck?
Okay, I love that clip because, as you saw, Stephen Baldwin playing McManus plays an absolute psychopath. He's number two in that lineup next to Kevin Pollak and Benicio del Toro. And whenever he does that, that wasn't actually in the script. He was just supposed to step forward and read his line like a normal human being, but instead he decided to be a maniac about it. And so, like, whenever number three steps up to Benicio del Toro playing Finster, he steps up, begins to giggle and laugh. And that actually wasn't in the script either, but it was such a genuine moment that they actually kept it in there. Even the slaps between Stephen Baldwin and Finster slapping him back, that wasn't none of that was actually in the script. Just the lines were actually supposed to be said. But it was just a genuine moment, and it lets you see the camaraderie between the characters and the chemistry between the actors. So I actually loved that scene. But that's where your story begins, is in that lineup, and then they're in a cell together. There's a lot of things, but Verbal is trying to tell the customs investigators that Kaiser Sose does in fact exist, and they said no, he doesn't. He's a myth because no one's ever seen him, spoke to him. Anybody that's worked with him is dead. And so he basically compares him to the devil. And watch this clip of what he says, because it's an iconic movie clip. It's one of the best, in my opinion, what somebody's ever said about somebody that doesn't exist.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
What follows this lineup is a tangled mess of schemes, double crosses, and a lot of guys in coats speaking in mysterious tones like they're on an audition for the most dramatic whisper possible. Most of this movie is done in weird tones and whispers. But one of the crimes that they actually commit is against the cops directly after the lineup. Just watch this scene.
Don't fucking touch the fucking thing! You guys want? Don't fucking put the fucking thing in the fucking cop, stupid asshole! Watch the glass! Fucking move, motherfucker!
Okay, as the interrogation into Verbal Kint goes on, they keep telling him that he does not exist, and you're starting to believe that maybe he does not exist, because like the stories that they tell about him are ridiculous, like so far-fetched. I don't see how someone could exist living the way he does. And they do something really clever. Like the director and writer did something very clever. They actually introduced a character played by Pete Postlethwaite as he plays a man named Kobayashi, and he's a lawyer for Kaiser Sose, this mythical crime lord, and that just adds, maybe he does exist because there is a lawyer that was retained by him, so possibly he does. And watch this clip of Kobayashi actually introducing himself.
One day's work. Very dangerous. He does not expect all of you to live.
Who's your boss?
I work for Kaiser Soze.
This movie has so many plot twists that you will be infuriated by the end. If you really don't know what's going on or can't connect the dots by the ending, I would say 10 minutes, that's normal. You've watched the right movie. In the end, either you will feel like an absolute genius because you've connected all the dots and figured out if Kaiser Sose is real or not, or you will feel like you've been hustled in the most entertaining way possible, because it turns into a game of who's lying, who's dying, and why the hell is everybody being so cryptic. So just watch this end scene, and then I'll go to the scorecards and I'll tell you exactly what I thought about this whole movie.
I'm not a criminal.
You are a criminal.
And what you gotta go and do that? Trying to make a point.
Okay, last little tidbit. This movie did not do great in the box office. It had a $6 million budget and only made $66 million worldwide total. It really didn't become a pop culture classic or even have a cult following for several years after. It was made in 1995. About 2000 or so, people really started paying attention to this movie again. I don't know why. But in comparison, Pixar's Toy Story came out the same year, around the same time. It made $363 million worldwide. So it wasn't a blockbuster. It's just a big movie now. Or it was several years ago. This is why I'm bringing it back to you now, to bring it back into the light, because it's such a phenomenal movie. But okay, going to the scorecards. I have to write this down. Bryan Singer was the director, and Christopher McQuarrie was the writer. They both did a great job. I'm going to give the directing an 8 out of 10. So 8 popcorns on that. The writing by Christopher McQuarrie, I give a 7 out of 10. It was a really good story with a really good series of plot twists that keep you guessing the entire time. I love a movie like that. The score was only a 2. There was really no songs that I recognized. There was nothing great about them. They were just so-so. The cast, 9 out of 10. Whenever you have everybody from Kevin Pollak, Benicio del Toro, Kevin Spacey, Stephen Baldwin, and like Pete Postlethwaite, you can't mess that up. I loved the entire cast. This was kind of a movie that wasn't the beginning of their careers, but they hadn't done anything massive until this threw them kind of more into the light to play these more of these kind of roles. The cinematography, this is a 6 out of 10. It was really well done. There's a lot of little cinematography Easter eggs that they explain the movie through film instead of through dialogue. So I liked that. That was very well done. That gives the movie a total of 6.4, which isn't great, but in the is it worth a watch factor, it's to me it's an 8. Everyone should watch this movie just because it's very entertaining. It's rated R. Don't show it to your kids, or if you're a bad parent, go ahead. But I loved this movie. Anyway, watch this ending scene, and I appreciate it. If you would not mind hitting like and follow for me, if you enjoyed this review, even if you didn't, still hit like and follow, and leave me a comment. If you want me to do any movie reviews or just roast a movie mercilessly, then send me a message, leave me a comment. I'll probably do it for you.
In a while. Let's talk about the lineup.
I'm really thirsty. I used to dehydrate as a kid. One time it got so bad my piss come out like snot. I'm not kidding. It was all thick and
I'll get
gooey.
your fucking coffee. Get me one too while you're at it.
That guy is tense. Tension is a killer. I used to be in a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois. The baritone was this guy named Kip Diskin. Big fat guy. I mean like orca fat. He was so stressed in the morning, you know.
Verbal, you know we're trying to help you.
Sure, and I appreciate that. And I want to help you, Agent Kuyan. I like cops.
Once again, this is Dr. M. Shroom. I'm out.